Hey everyone, and welcome back to Bleach Brave Souls. And today, I got something special for you guys. We are going to take an in-depth look at 6-star Renji, the character everyone loves to hate. And for some reason, I made him a 6-star and maxed out all his stuff, his soul tree and everything, to see if he's any good. Because he, as we all know, he's not a very good 5-star character. So maybe as a 6-star, he'll be better. Let's find out. We're going to talk about his stats, his 6-star upgrades, and we're going to get into some gameplay. And we'll see how much better he is. All right, so let's get right into it, guys. Here he is, 6-star Renji. Pretty much the same as he always is. He has a yellow lightning effect on him, and he is classified as a Soul Reaper, and his killer attribute is Hollow. So, against any enemies that are classified as the Hollow type, he'll have a plus 20% damage increase against them. 6-star Renji is a purple character, or a heart attribute, and he has a stamina of 705, which is decent, an attack of 496, which is pretty good. Anywhere around the 500 range is pretty good so far for 5 stars. Defense is 266. It's decent. Focus is 258, which is, above average a little bit. And his spiritual pressure is only 418, which is low. His special is the Zabimaru Hikotsu Taiho, and his soul trait is attack plus 27. The plus 27 attack soul trait isn't terribly good. And unlike Grimjo, who gets an upgrade when he becomes 6-star, Grimjo has a plus 40 attack. Renji doesn't get a soul trait upgrade, so unfortunately he's stuck with that plus 27 attack. So for the gameplay, I put on these accessories you see here. I have the 4-star Parasol, which is maxed out, giving him plus 14 attack, plus 14 focus. And I think it's a good accessory for Renji because it plays to his strengths. I guess you would call them his strengths. His attack and his focus are pretty good, so it's seemingly a really good accessory for him. 3-star Cookie, as always, and 3-star Attack Glove. For the character links, I have all normal attack damage. I feel like with Renji, he has a decent normal attack speed, and his strong attacks are very slow, especially the third one. So you're probably not going to want to focus on his strong attack damage just because of the speed of his wind-up when he uses his strong attacks. The second strong attack is actually pretty quick, but the other two are, not so good. So if we take a look here, he'll have plus 60% normal attack damage, plus 27 attack from his soul trait, 20% increased stamina, 34 increased attack, and 14% increased focus. So let's take a look at his soul tree. As you can see, I have him fully maxed out. And the nice thing about Renji is that all of his skills are at the end of his soul tree, so you can pretty much do the whole thing without using any characters. The characters he does need are 6 4-star Rukias and 5 4-star Kiras. So he only needs 4-star characters to ascend, and the 4-star raids are actually pretty easy. So that's another thing he has going for him. If we take a look at the skills, he gets the increased number of flash steps, which pretty much everyone has. He gets increased normal attack area of effect, which is a really good upgrade because it increases his normal attack range. He gets the increased strong attack area of effect, so his range overall it's increased for both normal and strong attacks, those are two really good upgrades. The other two are increased normal attack damage and increased strong attack damage. So his 6-star upgrades are actually very good. And it kind of makes up for his somewhat lower base statistics. I should also mention that Renji costs 5 Hogyokus to ascend. I think he's the only character that requires 5, which I find kind of strange because he's not really a top tier character, yet they charge you 5 Hogyokus. But maybe it's because he's just so common, and they want to make it a little bit challenging to ascend him to 6-star. Alright guys, so that covers all of Renji's statistics and 6-star upgrades and his equipment. Um, let's take a look at his character bio for those who want to see it. Renji Aburai. Renji's Bankai Hihio Zabimaru transforms his sword into the form of a giant serpent with incredible destructive power. So for the gameplay demonstration, guys, I'm going to do 2 stages. I'm going to do one where he has the attribute advantage and the killer advantage. And then I'll do another stage where he has no advantages at all. Let's get started. Whoops. Alright, here we go, guys. Make sure I take it off auto. Let's just clear out this mob, this trash mobs here real quick so I can have some space. As you can see, he does quite a bit of damage when he has both advantages, the killer attribute advantage and the color advantage. These are his normal attacks, 4-string combo with pretty decent speed. And with the increased range and increased damage from the 6-star upgrades, he becomes pretty decent for normal attacks. For strong, it's a slash which covers a pretty wide area in front of him and to the sides. The windup on that attack is pretty lengthy though, as you can see. So, it might not be a good attack to focus on in PvP. You might not want to do the attack attribute advantage. The second one comes out really quickly, but it only hits in a straight line in front of him. And the third one has a super long windup, but it does hit a large area of effect. So let's check out the gameplay, as you can see. And I don't know what's going on with my sound, guys. It's a little bit messed up right now. I can't hear any of the impact noises from the attacks. I don't know what's going on with that. I'll have to look into the problem there. But he does have pretty decent range on his normal attacks now. And this chapter I'm doing is chapter 9 in the story mode. It was it's the orange stage that is one of the last ones in the chapter. Now the positive thing about the long windup is that you're invincible for longer, in PvE at least. Oh, and I am playing crappy, but when you talk, you got to sacrifice some gameplay sometimes because you're concentrating on 2 things at once. But yeah, he hits pretty good. The range is definitely noticeable, the increased range on the normal attacks. And that 3rd strong attack, the range on that has always been a problem for Renji. It's just terrible in PvP. He'll get interrupted. That attack will almost never come out in PvP. And that one, is not much better. This one though is pretty good. So if you're doing PvP with 6-star Renji, you're gonna want to use the attribute strategy, or the one that increases stamina, the special move strategy. Just so he does less strong attacks. You really don't want him using his strong attacks in PvP. Well, most people would say you don't want to be using Renji at all in PvP, but to each their own. Overall, guys, I think he's much improved. He's the difference is definitely noticeable. You can see the numbers for yourselves. Granted, he does have the advantages, like I've already mentioned 10 times in this video, in this stage. But yeah, if you're using him for PvE and you have an orange stage or some hollow enemies, he is not a bad choice. The attacks are fast, the normal attacks are quick, and the range of them is really good. So he's not bad. So there we have the attribute advantage stage. Alright guys, let's do a stage now where he has no advantages whatsoever. This is in part 8 of the story mode. I had to go to chapter 8 because I couldn't find a stage in chapter 9 that has the has Soul Reaper enemies. So, because you can see he still hits for well over 1k. And like I said, the range on these attacks is pretty damn decent. So, I mean, he's not bad, guys. He is definitely a viable option for PvE content, at least. I have yet to try him in PvP. You know, I may do that. I'm not sure if there's any demand to see that, but oh. Yeah, look at the range on the strong attacks. It hits pretty well. Like the arc it covers is pretty large, and it hits pretty far to the side of him. Like, you know, there's probably hits a 180-degree arc in front of him, so it's not too shabby. Here we go, guys. Let's do the boss here. Oh, I'm getting my ass kicked here. Good lord. Good lord, what is going on? I am playing this on an emulator, by the way, guys. So, I don't know, for some reason it's not always very responsive. Do a special, the one you've seen a million times, I'm sure. Yeah, there you go, it hits pretty well. 3,000 with no advantage, no attribute advantage or killer advantage. And yeah, there you have it, guys. That is 6-star Renji. Overall, what do I think? I think he's decent. You know, he's not a top tier character, but he's not terrible either. So, I mean, if you feel like upgrading him, he'll be good for, like I said, you know, story mode missions or raids, or any kind of player versus environment content. As I said before, I don't know how he'll perform in PvP, but he might do well if you select the attribute strategy or the special strategy. Just something that doesn't have him doing a lot of strong attacks, because his strong attacks are his weakness. The wind-up time, like I said, it takes forever, and there's a huge chance that in PvP he'll get interrupted before he gets any of them off. So, like I said, you don't want to choose the attack strategy, because the attack strategy prioritizes strong attacks. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for this video. Let me know if there's anything else you want to see with this character. And yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.